Hello friends, your favorite clown is back. Today we will talk about the new Shellwe Makeup palettes. It's 3 palettes in total. It's 3 bigger palettes, but they also come in mini versions. They are super cute and has a keychain so you can bring when you travel or something, which I think is a really cool idea, and I wish that more brands would do that. I also want to mention that I was kindly gifted those palettes, but that doesn't change my opinions about the performance or what my overall thoughts about them. Another really cool feature about those palettes is that they have magnetic pans, so you can basically mix and match and make a color story that fits your taste, which is really cool and something I also really appreciate. To get a somewhat good feeling about the formula and how it performs, I have created 6 looks, 2 looks per palette. I will also show the looks so you can see for yourself what you can create with those palettes. And maybe get some inspiration. I tried to do a couple of different looks so you don't get bored with the looks. I have been trying Shellwe Makeup since before. I also own their first palette called Liana. This is the mini version because I didn't find the bigger one, but I also have it in my you know, drawer. The shimmers seems to be somewhat more drier in the newer palettes. I'm not sure if this is true or if it's just my impression, but this isn't something negative really, because this means that you can use those shimmers on more kinds of different lids. Creamy formulas doesn't necessarily work that well on creasy lids or oily lids. I personally rarely have this problem with creasing, but I know that that is quite common, especially if you have hooded eyes or oily lids, as I mentioned earlier. Some of the shimmers are a little bit more thicker, so you really need a glitter glue for those kinds of shades, but that's only because they need something to stick onto. When they are on the lids, they perform really nice. When it comes to the mattes, I feel like they are basically the same as in the original palette, which is really nice because I enjoy that matte formula. It's buildable, not super pigmented at first swatch, but as I mentioned, you can just apply and build and blend, and they work quite wonderfully. If you decide to only get one of those palettes, you have to keep in mind that it only contains 4 shades, which means that the looks you can create with them is quite limited. With that being said, you can create quite a lot of different looks depending on how creative you are, but you can also mix them with other palettes, of course. I have yet to try all those palettes together, but I am pretty sure that it will be a great result because all the formulas works well together and the color stories are very cohesive, so they basically could go together with any of the palettes you pick. I will try to show you an example here. You can mix those 2 palettes, for example. Shellwe Makeup always nails it with the packaging, especially for those mini keychain palettes with those cute amulets, because it's just super cute, and I love that they are the same size, so you can collect them, and yeah, it's really cute in my opinion. Also, when you get the palettes, they are wrapped very nicely in paper, and they also have a very nice wrapping with I'm not sure what it's called in English, but it's like a stamp with the animal on it. And that's such a nice touch to the palettes or the products in general, because most brands doesn't do those small details, but it's what makes Shellwe Makeup so special. Great gifts to someone you really like. Now let's take a look at the makeup looks I created with those palettes. Today we will try this palette from Shellwe Makeup. It's called Deathless Spirit. It has a very beautiful color story, a yellow, a blue, a shimmery black and iridescent bluish shade. I'm not sure what I will create today, but we will see. Okay, so I decided that I want some sharp edges, so I used this tape from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. You can find this kind of tape on Amazon or sites like that too, but I wanted to support Blend Bunny. So we take this fluffy brush and apply it to the crease. It was a little bit more pigmented, but I will figure it out. And we will just blend and blend and blend. You know me.
Blend and stay quiet.
As I have told you in several other videos. We will see where this goes, but I think I will try to do something more creative this time. Now take the taper, the blending brush, and apply it here on the edges and just drag it out. Now we want to blend together the edges. Now I will go in with my favorite thing, makeup wipes. I will try to do a weird shape and we will see where we end at. Now we need to fill in the edges where the pigmentation is lacking. Now we will form another shape here in the front. And you don't need to be that careful because we will fix that later. And now we are going to do a very crazy thing, but trust me in the process, or maybe not. We will take the yellow shimmer and run it through the edges, and my brush is stained, by the way. So we will just smudge the edges with this yellow shimmer all the way around. So this gap we will leave for now, because we are going to fill that in with concealer in a minute. Now I will take my concealer and put it here in the holes, or where I did cut out the concealer. And take this kind of amount. This concealer isn't that high coverage, so for me it doesn't matter that I take a little bit much. So I kind of decide the eyeshadow shape with the concealer. Yeah, something like this. And then you just blend it out. I prefer to use a brush for this smaller area because the sponge can be a little bit tricky to get in here. Now we will blend the yellow edges together with the blue eyeshadow without anything on the brush. Take the yellow again and blend the edges in this hole or outcut. I also decided to put the yellow in this little outcut in the inner part of the lid. I have now applied some glitter glue on the lids because I will add an iridescent shade on top of the glitter glue. I will just wait a couple of seconds so that it dries fully. And I will make a rounded shape here. Oops, I applied a little bit too much. But that's my problem. or fault rather. Okay, so I applied slightly too much, but I will show you how to fix it. So to fix the problem I just made on the lid, you will need a smaller brush with straight edges. You'll dip a bit in the eyeshadow, the darker matte eyeshadow, and then you will just apply it around the edges that you want to remove and shape it how you want it. I also decided to make one more outcut here on the edge. We will add some more depth in the crease. Now we will go in with the iridescent shade again, and now I will put it in the outcut like this and just drag it up. I'm starting to speak Swedish. You drag it upwards like this, almost like a facelift. You continue underneath here too, and a little bit above the brow bone too. Not above the brow bone, on the brow bone. When I talk English, and even when I speak Swedish for the other way, I talk a lot of nonsense. Like I speak and then I realize that I say something that really doesn't make sense. And that might be the case right now. I'm not sure how well you can see it in the camera, but since this brush is quite thick, some of the iridescent shade came on the last matte part of the eyeshadow, and that can be quite effectful. So I will actually just blend it out so it looks like it was meant to be. Because if you know something about me, it's that all my looks are happy accidents. Or, I mean, some of them are bad accidents too, but nothing is planned. I will put some iridescent in my inner corners too. I will take the yellow and add it on the lower lash line. I like to apply it quite thick because it gives a cool effect. Now apply the sparkly matte shade on the lower lash line and just drag it like this. Not the whole way, because that will kind of close the eye, and that do we not want today. And I will also add it on top here, because I love that kind of contrast. I don't know how much it will show up in the camera, but in person it gives a contrasting effect. Now I will go in with this golden eyeliner. I will take the eyeliner around this shape. And it's important that you don't look up, because the water activated liner needs to dry a bit. I often do this mistake, so I will try to not do it. And to be honest, you don't need to be super precise with this, because I will show you how to fix it. It's the same technique as I showed you before, where you take the eyeshadow and just send it around the edges. But this side is quite a bit bigger than this other side, but as I said, it's okay. Okay, so now I will just fix the edges. I'm definitely starting to become tired, so I will finish off this fast because I don't have more energy to work on this look more. I will now add some yellow mascara on the lashes. I also only created one tutorial because I find that it's quite a lot of work to both do tutorials and create looks, and I also feel like the videos maybe get too long if I create tutorials for every look. Do you like more tutorials, or do you find that it's cool to just see the looks? Please put your input in the comments below. This was everything I had to say about this collection, but please let me know in the comments what you think is important to include in the reviews, because I'm very new to this reviewing format, and it would be really helpful if you told me what you need to know about the products to make you feel that you get enough information. I'm not here to make you feel that you need to buy everything that I talk about, but I want to give you an informative picture about the products that I talk about, so you at least can consider if you want them, if you want to dupe them, or if you definitely doesn't want to have them in your collection. Before you go, I would really love to hear if you like this collection, if you have bought it, or are you planning to pick up some of the palettes, or maybe all of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye! And this was all for this video. I hope that you consider to subscribe or follow me if you feel like indie makeup is your jam, because it totally is my jam. And if you... It's something really hard that I have to tell you. It's with sorrow in my heart that I need to say goodbye. This is the end of the video. Bye bye.